On November 4th, 2020, in the Washington Post, Kevin Shaw, Kate Rabinowitz, and Ted Melnick reported that the projected turnout rates are supposed to be at a record-breaking 66.3%. Now, 66.3% may not seem that high. However, we haven't seen this high of a voter turnout rate since the election of 1900. And to continue putting this into perspective, 66.3% translates to around 161 million people. Let that sink in. 161 million Americans voiced their opinion this year. Now, this year, to say the least, is a bit different from previous years. This year is in the midst of a global pandemic, and the coronavirus has had a major impact on society. For example, the economy has suffered, the education system has suffered, as well as the the healthcare system has suffered. And I think most importantly, the ability to communicate has suffered greatly. And this affects politics majorly because politics is based on communication. Now, because of the COVID virus, the US government has allowed people to vote early as well as mail-in votes. And this has taken off majorly. For example, Adam Levy, Ethan Cohen, and Liz Stark from CNN on October 25th, 2020, said that pre-election voting for the November election has surpassed all pre-election 2016 ballots with 8 days left until the election day. This is astonishing because we still have 8 days till the election days, and we almost have passed 2016 election ballots. And also, mail-in votes have also taken off. For example, from the New York Times Magazine, Stephanie Saul and Danny Hakim on November 7th, 2020, said that nearly 64 million mail-in votes have been collected. 64 million votes is around half the voting population. That's a lot of people, and that's a lot of mail-in votes. However, these mail-in votes and early election voting ballots have led to a lot of miscommunication as well as disinformation. Disinformation is the false information deliberately spread in order to influence public opinion, as defined by Merriam-Webster. Now, what are some examples of disinformation from this election, you ask? Well, Jesse Littlewood, who is the leader of Stopping Cyber Suppression Program for Common Cause, said in an interview with National Public Radio on October 24th, 2020, that this new wave of voting and mail-in votes has caused a new type of disinformation from social media as well as fake calls. Fake calls are calls that are sent to voters to help mislead them, and to persuade them to not vote. For example, this fake call was sent to hundreds of thousands of voters in the United States. And in the call, it said, your personal information will be a part of a public database. As a voter, this influences them into not voting. And as well as there has been on social media tweets where it says Democrats are supposed to vote on November 3rd, which is the correct deadline, whereas Republicans are supposed to vote on November 4th, which is the day after Election Day. This means that Republicans are misled and are given the wrong date of to vote. This new era of disinformation is because of COVID. However, COVID has also increased voter turnout. So is COVID good or is COVID bad? Obviously, looking at it from an election standpoint, because COVID has increased election turnout, voter turnout, as well as, however, it has also led to a new era of disinformation. Coronavirus is almost like a double-edged sword. The consequences of COVID on the 2020 election are vast, and these two examples are just a slice of the pie. However, overall, COVID-19 has led to a major impact on the 2020 election, and that is something that all of us can agree upon. Thank you.